Okay, Happy New Year. Well, it's not New Year yet, it's the New Year week. And I'm not sure if I'm going to let you see me, actually. Sorry. I worked out this morning, went to breakfast with a friend, had a great breakfast. It's my week off, so if I'm not shaving, get over it. But what I wanted to share with y'all is I am starting off the new year with a resolution to never waste food, which I really started last year. When I started this diet thing, because one of the reasons I never kept fresh vegetables in the house was I'd buy the fresh vegetables, and I don't know about you, but I would end up throwing them out because I wouldn't use them in time, etc. Well, last year, when I started eating veggies and all that kind of good stuff, it was great because we actually ate what we bought, things like that. Well, obviously I bought too much for the party that we had a few days ago. And so what I've started doing this year is doing little tricks to have fresh vegetables, but have them on hand. And I think part of the problem with having vegetables in our lives tends to be that it's not real easy to cook fresh vegetables because it's so much easier to grab something on the way out. So by taking a little time just to prep some stuff, I can have fresh vegetables whenever we want. So I've got asparagus here. There were green beans left, which, by the way, it was so funny. The green beans, the snap peas, and the asparagus were like the most popular things at the party. And I've got some green pepper. Now the green pepper I'm just cutting into these little packages here. Can y'all see them? Yeah, okay, good. And then I did go out a few years ago and get a food saver, which I haven't really used. Like a lot of appliances that we buy things that we think, oh, we're going to use this and it's going to be great. And then it sits on the shelf and it gets really dusty. Well, I'm really using it now because what happens is when I make these packets, this is a nice portion for the two of us. And so this keeps them nice and fresh. I could throw these actually in the freezer as well, and then when I'm ready for something fresh vegetable for a stir fry or just to add to something for a little vitamin C, etc., I can just pop these in and they're ready to go, right? What would even be nicer is if I roasted these really quickly and then did that as well. But right now what I'm going to do is the only prep that I'm going to do is I'm going to blanch the asparagus, the snap peas, and the beans. That way, when I put them in the little container over here, when I'm ready to take them out of the refrigerator or the freezer, they will have already been cooked once, and all I have to do is heat them and add a little seasoning to them, and they'll be perfect. And they're so much better than canned, although, y'all know I've talked about my favorite new vegetables. These are what I've been talking about forever, and I hope y'all find them. They're called Martha Homes, okay, Martha Homes. And if you read the label on them, you can see, I think, maybe, I don't know, I don't have my glasses on either, but it's 0.5, grams of fat. There's no saturated fat, no trans fat. It's a little high on the sodium. Carbohydrates, that comes from the beans. They're really, really good, though. And then these are the only potatoes that I eat these days. And the really cool thing about this is, you still get the carbohydrates, 20 grams, but there's 2.5 grams of fat. You get all this flavor in here, and so, it's wonderful. But like I said, my favorite is, if I'm going to have canned at all, is going to be these Martha Homes. They season them well. They just really taste good. And then, this is a way that you can introduce fresh vegetables, or not fresh, but vegetables into your life. And, it's good. And that way, you're not always eating, junk like I was doing before I started this. The other thing is, not the cinnamon flavored, because that would be Michael. But this fruit medley, see, it's done with Splenda. And so there's only in their own juices. So there's no sugar added. That's really, really great. And I'm telling you, when I really have a sweet tooth, these really satisfy. I know it doesn't sound like it, but it does, I promise. I mean, look at me. I promise these things have worked. And it's not just working like I'm doing something that's horrible. It actually has worked in the sense that I enjoy it too. Now that's cat food. We don't want to eat cat food. And then if I wanted a gravy, I've actually bought gravy, and I know I can make gravy better. But here's the thing. These gravies, you can get them fat-free, but this has got 1 gram of fat, and it adds a little bit of flavor to some chicken. So there's all sorts of ways that you can actually buy prepared food, and it can be good for you. And then my friend Christy, and you have to be careful with these, I found out, got me to get these Myoplex bars, which can be a meal replacement, or I can eat half of one when I'm feeling kind of weird. These have very little sugar in them and are very high protein. So if I really need to do my protein uptake when I'm really running and doing all that kind of good stuff, then here are these Myoplex bars, which you get from GNC. Thank you, Christy, for letting me know about those. Are awesome. You can also get, look, pink salmon, you know, rather than just having the regular tuna, which, by the way, I eat tuna by the bulk. Tuna light, no oil, folks. And then, of course, iced tea. Good Southerner, but I do it with sweet and low, not with sugar. So anyway, back to this. I'm going to blanch these, and blanch these, and then put them in the refrigerator, and that way, you know, it's a little bit of a prep. And I can pull them out when I need them. I can cook them and enjoy them, and it'll be something. And look, it's taken me all of, except for me running my mouth like this, it's taken me all of like 15 minutes to do all of this, and then this is going to be enough food for, you know, 10 or 12 meals for us as a couple. And then if you've got children and families, you know, it could be 5 or 6 meals worth of stuff. And that's all it takes. Just a little bit of planning, and it can change your life. So, sorry I look so bad. I'm actually, hopefully, it's on YouTube, right? So, last of the Christmas presents going out to some children in the area, and we're getting the house back together now. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year, and we'll check in again. Remember to support the Heart Association. We love the Heart Association, the City of Wilmington, North Carolina Aquarium. Anyway, just kidding. Well, no, I'm not kidding about that. Love y'all, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.